An exciting time here at the Face It Global Summit, of course, and always more PUBG action to come around the globe. As we were just mentioning here, Martin, the PEL Kickoff Cup going to be very exciting with 32 teams battling, going head-to-head.
It's obviously very beautiful when the whole league structure is feeding into itself, but also being able to, we saw the NPL Kickoff Cup, or the Cup as well we had there, where you take these teams and put them together like kind of between seasons and between our like mid-league, they're playing against each other, and that's going to be very interesting to see this Kickoff Cup as well. It's the top 16 teams of contenders in Europe playing in the PEL Kickoff Cup. But that's like the whole structure globally is what is very beautiful, because it kind of feeds into these globals. The first PUBG Classic we're here to now and since Tuesday, and obviously also NPL.
Sure. I mean, this is going to sound like an overall sellout, but I have been talking about this for a few weeks, and it is amazing to me, all globally, how many organizations this game supports. Because every region you look into, like, oh, they have 10 organizations. Oh, they have a full roster of organizations. It's kind of crazy, Toffees, overall.
It's been really impressive to see the community come together. And little things like this Kickoff Cup, the one that we did in the NPL, gives a chance to sort of showcase talent that's up and coming. I mean, the fact that there's ways to move up the ranks and get into contenders through the open systems, it's just a really nice ecosystem. So if you do play PUBG, and we see teams like in NPL, we had a team like Oxymoron, who legitimately was a power of friendship team, some guys who just wanted to play together that worked their way through the system and play in the NPL currently. So that's really cool.
And also players being able to kind of come and show what they're made of. They might be like kind of new to the scene, they haven't played for that long, so you have like a contenders team that kind of just made it in and haven't been playing since the start, and then they may kind of have maybe a star fragger, and he'll be picked up by another team, maybe in another region, and so kind of the whole system is just kind of feeding into each other, like across all the leagues as well.
Well, let's get back on track here now, of course, for the Face It Global Summit, as we can look at the overall standings here from our teams, the 16 teams currently competing here in the grand final. As you can see, all the way up to the top. So far, so good for our Eastern teams, as 1 through 4, very much so dominated by them. It looks like the West is trying to catch up here at the moment, Toffees.
They are. I mean, Tempo Storm is at 9, Cloud at 10, so it's a slow but difficult climb for the guys. But part of that is the fact that most of these teams tend to play mid to northern Erangel, so they had a really tough start to the day. And I expect that to continue. I think by the end of today, we'll see at least one more of the North American teams joining Envy there near the top 5, which sets a good stage for a big push tomorrow.
Sure. Avenger, your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to see if NIP can keep it up from their group stage, because that was very impressive to me how they kind of stepped up from day one. We're 33% through the games today for the whole kind of grand finals as well, and them kind of stepping up and getting kills all the time. I want to see that, but I also really want to see a win from them. If they manage to get a win with, kind of the 15 kills, big wins, or maybe even join the 16K club, that's really going to put them up there, and that's going to fuel the momentum going forward.
I mean, as we look at this board, let's really talk about it. OP Gaming, Rangers, Team Envy, Windstrike, OGN, Entis Force. These are teams that had to earn their way out of the elimination rounds. They had a really tough group stages, and now look at them on the left side of the board. So some of these teams, I think, learned a ton yesterday and are putting it to work, particularly the Rangers.
Exactly. I think, I was speaking to Clinton Paperthin backstage, and we were saying to each other, it feels like yesterday was the best thing ever that could have happened to OP Gaming Rangers. If they'd have come through the group stage and kind of slithered in about like the 7th, 8th position, I think them not having yesterday would have been a detriment to their game, and it's showing now in terms of consistency.
And I think it also, so yesterday, I genuinely believe if that circle had gone north, we would not be seeing OP Gaming Rangers in the finals today.
Sure.
But I think that gave also them a kick in the behind. It said, we don't ever, no team that's been in that position wants to ever have that feeling again that they don't control their own destiny. So when they do happen to get the moments, they need to capitalize on them. So I think some of those teams learned their lessons. Like, I assume that ENCE going back to PEL is going to be a very different team when they choose how to play next time.
But 4 AM on the other hand, they haven't played for 2 days because they didn't play in the sudden death. They didn't play on the last day as well. So they have had 2 days off, but they're still coming in here and absolutely killing it. They're currently second, and obviously last games is a off kind of story, but they're going to have one off game per day anyway. So I'm looking forward to see how 4AM is going to pick it up.
I think a lot of teams had a lot of pundits even, I should say, had a lot of high expectations for 4AM coming out of the Chinese region, of course, PCL and all that stuff. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you very much. It is time, as we have a lot of fans here for China as they look to continue themselves a strong position. Let's head over to Pansy and Sims for all the action on Miramar.
Thank you, and I think I'm so impressed to see just how that leaderboard has changed already. One game and suddenly we're seeing teams pushing in towards that top 10 position. No one's safe. We're seeing a bit of a break ahead at the top of the league, or should I say the leaderboard, but there's still so much room for other teams to push the way up.
I mean, when we look towards STK, for example, they're no longer bottom. One good game had sent them, not necessarily flying up the table, but certainly jumped them 5 places. And this kind of speaks louder volumes for the poor performance for the first 3 games. You put yourself at a disadvantage the further we go down the line during this one. But I'll tell you what is impressive. 4 games in, and all 4 Korean teams in the top half of the table.
It certainly is impressive, and the crowd loves it as well. We've got so many fans coming out, and I hope we see more from 4AM this time. I love watching them play. Let's see, new playing path here. Haven't seen this one yet for us, really. That more northern stuff.
I'm just listening to the fans. This is something I've yet to kind of experience in PUBG. This level of volume and this level of support for individual teams. It's a wonderful thing to see, especially in a game so early in its esports life. Big things certainly to come for 2019. But more about this game. Northern's flight path, as you mentioned, we start at Alcantara, will be ending just between El Azhar and Impala. This proves difficult hunting ground, should be a team that likes to head further down south, Comisera, Los Leones. Yes, you'll be able to get there, but you'll certainly be a little bit later in comparison to the teams that have got straight out of the plane. OP Rangers, different grounds this time round. They'll still be kicking in, lingering around the backside of Windstrike. Windstrike have gone further into El Pozo this time. C9 getting a read on it. They've already got vehicles. We can see it on the map. And C9 will be able to try and reposition here as a few of them are still in the air.
And I'm sure the sideline. One truck. Back Caps has got it. Has anyone got a car?
We've got to go.
A gun, shall I say. So we have ENF picking up 1. Waiki Kamukau is going to be coming out and saying, hello, Envy. Go, boys, go. You've got to run as fast as you can. Get away.
Oh, my.
Put the pedal down. Oh, they've lost out on Venerated. Ronan with the precision coming in. He just found a gun. And
Stolen.
it's been stolen.
That got yoinked straight out of his hands. The bullets will keep on going. And it's so easy to do. I know these shots are difficult to hit, but when they're not wearing armor, they are easy pickings. And that's also a very important stance to show you how this works out. These points are so imperative. You can get the knock, and all of a sudden one player from absolutely nowhere just takes that from them. So all the work, those landed shots, the knock, it's all for naught. They get no points at all from that.
Yeah, and I was about to say that I'm sure the sideline reporters brought up to us last time that Windstrike had a tougher time in Pozo. They didn't have the clean lukes. I think it was 4AM who went over there, if I'm not mistaken. And 4AM didn't have the best of games either. So maybe this is better for them. Maybe they're back in their home territory. They feel more comfortable. And with the circle where it is, they can't be displeased with that.
I mean, 4AM have had a consistent day so far. No wins in the bag, but a 4th, a 5th, and a 3rd.
That's what you want.
You know, that's what you want, with 21 kills to boot as well. They have gone hunting. I believe they are 2nd on the leaderboards when it comes to kills, only outdone by the Rangers, who are sitting on 29.
Yeah.
So 16th place, you can afford to have them, not consistently. Unfortunately, this is kind of what we saw from teams that didn't make it to the grand finals. We have lost 8 since yesterday. Yes, it's harsh, but this is the whole point of a group stage. You unfortunately cut some teams, so we get the cream of the crop for the grand final. 17, a little bit of room. STK is in a 2-2 split around them. You got Adam and Purdy in the top, Alo and Uncivil down just off to the south, one of them between Hacienda. AFF also not too far in the distance. Centrally, not many teams kicking it around. Maybe Sharky, Opsitec minus Generales. There are certain areas of Minas that the topography of that area is insane, because you essentially have 3 tiers from
Richard?
what is essentially an oil pump station.
NN might just be hunting out James. I know the reporters are standing by. I think James is on the move, so he stays alive for Mount. Let's head over to the reporters. What have you guys seen so far? You guys spotted out that wind strike issue before with, I'm pretty sure, 4am. Anything similar to that this time around?
Yeah, literally leading on about that. Obviously, 4am went out in 16th place last time with that Opposo, and the plane, pretty much went straight over Opposo. Clearly didn't work out for them, so they've made a big adjustment. Hacienda is the place they want to be, so it's a big change for them, and obviously that will affect how their loop paths are. You guys obviously practice for ages on these loop paths and the rotations and everything that goes with it. Yeah, there's big adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, they had technically Opposo for free. Windstrike didn't contest them whatsoever. They went to the west. So even though they could have had Opposo for free, they decided to go to the loop paths and loop around Hacienda.
Yeah, meanwhile, of course, NIP, they've switched it. Kumisera back over to Opposo, El Azahar, sorry. So there's some big adjustments these teams are making on the fly, which is great to see, and that's why they're in the finals. Back to you, boys.
Thank you very much. And so far, a couple of shots here and there. Nothing wild. I mean, I think it's mostly going to be around that San Martin area, Hacienda area. Everyone's trying to fight for that little bit of room. AFF already there. Team Liquid in that 2-2 split. We did see a couple of players going past here. And speaking of AFF, these are the shots we can expect to carry on for a little while. Just spamming away with those minis. That's why the minis are so good.
A really versatile gun. We've even seen certain players using it up close and personal, like when they don't expect a player to be there.
Yeah.
And it's become meta. Everyone carries it for the simple fact that it gives you not a fully automatic weapon, certainly one, a DMR that can be fired extremely fast. The SLR is another weapon like that you'll see people tanking time and time again. And then you get these individuals like Starlord, for instance, who's been monumental in VSG's performance with the M24 time and time again.
He's a bolt action boy, isn't he?
And you know what? I love to see it. Anyone who
Give
uses
me a specialist, yeah.
Yeah, you get these that be able to force themselves into that role. Oh. You need to be able to land the shots, because otherwise you're basically not giving your team the level of support. You're putting them at basically a man down, a detriment.
I still love an MK14. Still love it. Still love it.
I'm a cowboy.
You like an M249, so I mean, you can't talk about it.
Best gun in the game.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
It is.
Has there been a single kill with it this game?
Where's the one been dropped yet?
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, has there been a kill with it?
Leave my public statistics alone, okay? I like to go
it's
hunting with
viable
the
at my trash tier.
Yes, I play duos. I get 4 kills, I am happy.
Richard's joy. Windstrike just kind of, playing around, moving themselves into position. And really, no one is having many issues right now. It's a little bit of a lull in the action. It's the calm before the storm. We see it every time. Everyone's fighting for compounds. We do see, this is when you love a Car 98. This is when you love those 24s. Because you can land the shots, but whether or not you can confirm them, that's the next part, which his teammate did. Duckmans goes down, and Duckmans was one of the big instigators for AG putting up some decent numbers. So curious if that's going to hinder them.
It's not prime position either.
No, it's
not. From where they are, they're quite it's very heavily weighted towards the north, so depending on where this circle goes, dictates whether that kill was worth it or not. Juicy has to be careful. If he gets caught out by Liquid, that'll be a non-resible position. Well, certainly Incognito will have to commit a lot to it, and when you have players doing what Gaxi did in the previous round, you see
that
smoke.
That terrifies me.
You magnetize to it. You want to go for it. I mean, the smoke's
it's like
okay.
Purdy Curdy. You throw your mind back to when he pushed Ents.
You're essentially a beacon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in smoke and you're safe maybe from gunfire, but it's like, well, you know where I am. And if a player's committed essentially to rezzing, you throw the grenade. You don't have to go for the follow-up, because then it'll knock the second one, kill the one that's been rezzed, and the rest of the team, they're just going to fly away and run. So it's an easy bleed-out point. It's 2 points, job done.
Yeah, it's a really nice pickup. And looking at the circle, everyone's very centered here. Everyone's getting there. VSG a little further north. Look, there's a little bit of a northern contingent, I guess. But no one's really threatened yet. Incognito a slap bang in the middle. Team Liquid did have that 2-2 split, which they're still retaining. 17 Gaming, 2-2 as well. So a lot of the teams opting for those 2-2 splits still.
Look, this map, it's night and day to what we see from Erangel.
God, everyone's in 2-2 right now, apart from Cloud9 really in that area.
Because, and a lot of them sometimes, which we're not seeing it as much, but they'll take even bigger splits to cover more ground.
Yep.
We spoke about yesterday, edging your bets, trying to manage as much RNG as possible. Put bodies in places and compounds, you're giving yourself that emergency backup situation.
Yep.
Quick, the circle's gone a different way to where we are, but we've got one player who's headed up north already in preparation for it. Now we can just move on. A little bit of a tag will come through, and again, you will see this. Try and go for a Randy knocked down
Where
in the
is that?
distance. I'm trying to actually get a read on it, but it was...
It's up, I know it's up north, so Captain... that's a nice northern position. For the teams who committed to the north and didn't find that central area around Minas Gerais, this is great for them. They're still pretty happy about it. VSG on an early rotation, they were scuffling before him. AFF crashing towards Team Liquid. They're going to have to move away from this. Gemty unleashed hell. No, they've gone now. They've pulled up. Gemty notices, has to back away, find a smarter position. AFF NN from the hillside laying in the fire, and Style and Shadow moving up here. These guys, they're insane. Jeems is so low. He hasn't been spotted. Gemty, the call's going to be made the 4 times. Jeems dispatches of 1. He can't find a second. Style trades back in. Where is Gemty? Can he save the day? Can he save his teammate? Yes, he can. That's Ibby coming in and saving them as AFF goes down. There's support on the right. And Gemty says no.
Gemty. AFF, welcome to Liquid Town. What a very disciplined play coming out of AFF. I like... Oh, wait.
No, that's confirmed the kill.
That's the confirmation.
There's
I thought they must have sent that last player away, right?
Oh, NN's not that far. If I'm not mistaken, he was on the hillside. He was one of the players that just didn't commit, and yes, he is still there. And we can see the replay bottom left. Keep your eyes on that if you fancy it. NN was not far off, but the problem is Cloud9 are now coming into the position AFF just were in. So that could be the next big situation to unfold. But Team Liquid, they're moving.
I think it was a good idea. The fact that they had 2 vehicles, one of them got up front in front of them.
We've got to focus on something else right now.
We'll keep locking onto this. If it all kicks off, then we can move to it. But you could see the ideology. They knew they were down. They had 2 players in the back, so they could pull up. That nade's going to do damage.
That's from AG. What?
Indigo onto your boy, Dre. Where's that one in the back lines?
How did that happen?
Okay, so this is to the right-hand side of
Richard, they're pushing.
Death
Shox
squad.
is on the way. They're going into this one. It's a firing squad on the other side, though. Hexagon's found 1. 17 Gaming have been good so far. They've taken down RDK. They took down Hexagon, but they're losing out on players. Gato is holding the angle. He holds it so well. Comes in for the confirmation. And I don't see the remaining player for 17 Gaming.
Questionable shoulder peak to just show your head like
Monkey
that.
King's so far away.
He can't. There's nothing he can do. He now has to play for survivability. If you go over there, you're either going to die on arrival. No. I'd rather stay to this point and just keep them in. Otherwise, they're out in 16th. There's no point. It was questionable to make the push like that when they had so many up. I know there was only 1 knock, but yeah, flooding a building like that, it's always going to be difficult.
Is that Hacienda right now?
Yeah, this is Hacienda, and it looks like Windstrike took the early ground, but STK just pulled up. I think the fact that they're on the building as well, they have this information. Whether or not they know that they are surrounded.
Nice positioning from Nuki as well. pubg tries to go on a bit of a deeper angle to give himself a way in, but you had Tixu up top, and then you did have Nuki off to the side. So pubg's going to try and tuck himself in. They need to trade back in, and they get it from Adam find Jorski. There's still a chance here. There's fire from afar, which actually might help out Shoot to Kill, as now Nuki goes down. Shoot to Kill is still alive here. Tixu up top, though. Look at this dirty little angle he sat in, hiding in the corner. The nade confirms pubg is still bleeding out. Temi goes down. This is big from Shoot to Kill. They've got some points being racked up here, but can they save that remaining man?
Windstrike didn't deal with the fact that there was several people. Like, this area is split into...
This is a dirty angle. He knows it! That's so sick, Raylo. That is so good. You can tell this team plays this game a hell of a lot. Now, that says nothing at all, but to even consider that angle coming out onto that little balcony ledge is really, really smart. That means you will be able to get your man back up at pubg. That is so good from Shoot to Kill. I'm so happy seeing that.
Check your corners. They do it, and they do it well, and they complete. Windstrike from the face of the planet. Hacienda, it's split into 2 buildings, and that was the problem. 2 of them were left unchecked at the back building, so they pretty much crawled up behind them. While pubg went down, Windstrike looked like they were just focused so hard on maybe picking up that point that they struck when the time was right. Aerowolf want to be trying to see if they can get some kind of random knock. Oh, actually, AG have pulled up. They didn't go by. 1 of them did, but 3 of them were left standing. Armory Gaming. They've been doing some damage, a lot more than what I expected. Credit to the guys so far. They've had a decent tournament. 2 members here for Aerowolf 1. If they can remove them from this position, it'll give them a bit of an anchor in the north. It's not the greatest place to stay because everyone else is setting up around them. STK to the left-hand side, 4 AM can hear this in the distance. And they're just in the hillside as well.
That's why you don't slow peek windows. DMG just giving us a display on that one. Especially now here at Car 98, you do not repeat that window. Again, they are out of nades though. That's a smoke. They only have smokes left. RDK put down a lot of them earlier on. I'm not sure if Callow has any left. I don't think so. And we saw what General did on his own last time.
with a UMP as well.
Yeah.
To be able to not only survive, but to pick up frags while doing so. That nade's pretty good. Damage by name and by nature. Grenade up, over, through the window, down they go. Now it's time to push, now it's time to strike. Katal, though, he'll essentially just have a long hallway that he needs to hold. There's nothing else he can do here but stand his ground.
He's got a nice little off angle, though, holding that one slightly further down, and they don't have utility, it looks like, to try and break into this. Honboya seems aware there's a chance. This is good. This is going to try and get clear as they go on, but will he hear the steps? He's definitely heard something. Honboya takes the nade, fakes it out, tries to pull the player, peeks around the corner. It's Omri Gaming claiming that one. The compound is theirs, the kills are theirs, and all the loot awaits.
I love the bait. Just pull the pin and have done with it. He pulls out.
Forced him out of the building.
The amount of times you will do it, though, when it comes to healing, you'll see somebody just start the med kit. You'll hear the syringe go off. It's time. Okay, well, time to go. And then all of a sudden they're sat there waiting with a gun because they've cancelled it halfway through. Thank you very much. Lovely little cheeky bait and switch. Picks up a point, more importantly. Picks up a bit of prime territory. Again, you're banking on the circle going towards the north. Uh-oh. VSG, do you know? Tempo Storm is here. You do now. Maluk opens up. There's one. Doesn't get the second. There is a response here. Grenades. They're starting to become a reality to force VSG back.
Oh, no,
but he killed his teammate while doing so. It was a good defensive grenade, but unfortunately...
Hey, look. He made up with it on the second. That's fine. If you have to lose out on him, you have to lose out on him. It's not ideal, but you've got to do something. Sharky being proactive here. But VSG are not going down without a fight. Zampa unleashing hell with the nades, confirming on the player that was knocked. Sharky is a very hefty fragger. This guy can be a real animal if he can find the right place. But Hulk, you could say the same thing. Sharky now looking for more, though. Down to 2. Tempo Storm trying to go around the corner. Starlord says no. Sharky looking for the trade. He gets denied. VSG finding Tempo Storm.
That one player on the outside was the problem that they didn't deal with. They didn't realize he pulled up separately compared to the rest of them and took the rock side. He was able to hold the off angle in the end, take out Sharky, which pretty much completed the rest of Tempo Storm. It gave them no way to get out of that engagement and essentially boxed them in. Yes, they lose a player while doing so, but it's certainly worth the trade. The Rangers sitting happy at the moment at the top of the leaderboard by a fair amount of points as well. It's time for them to prove their worth.
Oof, that was a shot. Waikakamukau taking down one of the Rangers very low. For Incognito, though, they sadly are anything but right now. They've got the attention of just about everyone. You've got ENF close by, you've got the Rangers close by, you've got 4AM potentially finding shots, but NIP are keeping them busy. The North is split between 3 teams-ish. 17 Gaming down to their last player alive, as Barbo making a very risky move on that very low HP bike.
4AM have to be careful. They're playing this the same way they played the last one, sticking on the edge. They are in the vehicles now, so I'm intrigued to see where they go. I'll be disappointed if they just take a compound somewhere in the middle of nowhere as opposed to going central. If they do go central, this puts them in a very good spot for this next circle update. And it actually looks like they're doing it in the back lines. I'm seeing 2 vehicles moving, but taking a lot of fire while doing so. Liquid, how much room did they have? Okay, a fair amount. Samty's on the backside, just towards the graveyard, watching for any teams that want to come downhill. They'll be able to force the engagement or maybe even box them in. God, that was the transfer. As mentioned, crossing that open way. And
oh no, 4AM are in so much trouble. Forever's just been found as well. This is 2 different teams. Shoot to Kill just found him. AG has found him, and 17 Gaming are close by. This could be devastating for them.
I said I wanted to see them central up, but certainly not into the middle of nowhere. You'd have to expect with 42 players alive that going to that area is basically a death trap. It's, I'm surprised they've also managed to get the res back off. Captain and Godv, they'll be able to get the smokes and maybe they get Forever up and keep the format steady.
NIP about coming towards the Rangers as well. You can see him in the distance coming through. Nice shots coming out as well.
Or the crashing.
Yeah, they are. They're sliding up here. This could be the Rangers waiting for them with open arms. And Gaxi, lucky to be alive. The Rangers. Oh no, it's been confirmed. Killed by MBS. It's a disaster for NIP. The Rangers are mopping them up, and there's got to be nothing left for them now. Vard's been killed, as now we're seeing 4AM under pressure. Miraku goes down, and the Rangers with a big nade to close it out.
The Rangers, AFF, VSG, all shooting at NIP.
Horrible,
and unfortunately, they run one of themselves over as well, so even NIP against them. That's how to dismantle a team, just like that. 4 different teams completely decimating them on arrival. The Rangers, they'll pick up points, not that they needed enough anyway, sitting already steadily at the top of the board. but they have a beautiful position, both them and Entus. The circle could be interesting late game because it will force that, should it kick them out of that area, because it is a ditched area. The circle actually centralized on it, so this will be a fun one.
Oh no, the north is horrible as well. Droxy's just found ZGG. Monkey King's been waiting the whole time though. He's been in this compound. I don't know if he can survive this quick aggression from AG, taking down 17 Gaming. They've had a tough run this time.
They have, unfortunately. They won't really be able to do much. I mean, with one man, what really can you do? 4EM's holding on for dear life, but again, they're still in this really exposed area. C9, Liquid, Envy. All these powerhouse Western teams, they have to make a movement into the circle. That will wake Envy up. That gives them some information that there is a team lingering on this backside. I've seen where the grenade came from as well, so you'll be able to home down on that one. Interrogate, unfortunately, does go down, not confirmed yet. Grenade trying to find Ibby.
So isolated. Yeah, this is a horrible position for Envy. They've got Team Liquid basically holding them in, and VSG being a pain from the back lines, but they're not going to stick around too long, VSG. They want to move up themselves. They've just taken down Interrogate and left. They've gone over to the remainder of AFF. That's going to be NN trying to stay alive. You can see him just in a horrible spot here. Going to put himself in the ditch and just pray for safety. Cloud9 beating Team Liquid to the punch, though, as there's the rest of VSG pulling up.
That could be, if they took the vehicles now, they could get a really wild rotation. Actually, maybe make it in around the eastern side of Incognito. That'd be the only respite that they would get.
Why Kikamuka just stole the frag?
SDK is playing this one clever. They've got ahead of Armor Gaming. They need to be really, really careful. Oh dear. Okay. That's VSG and AFF still going at it head-to-head.
AFF just lost out on their final player. NN went down to the remainder of VSG, who took fire from everyone else. That was a real quick scrap in the bottom left side.
Where does Hulk go now? Like, where do you go? Maybe he does what I mentioned, which, there's going to be so many people who are going to have an eye on him. They pushed him back into the blue. He should be a goner. There he is. Bye-bye. 10th position will be the grave here in game 2 of Miramar on Civil. And speaking about ball action, opening up onto AG, which now puts them in a tricky spot. What do you do? Do you go for the res? Do you carry on going forward? This will really slow them down. Jempty finally finds a frag onto the side of C9.
They're going to push this too. They've got to go. This area is not made for more than one team. And Shooter Killer do what they can. Jempty's nade farm came fine. We have to see what they're up to here. Shooter Killer trying to keep down 4AM pinned, but this battle is going to be deadly. Loads and K-Mine knocked you. Profi and Nerf on the way. Team Liquid moving in. DMG bleeding out as we watch him just in the smoke. Shooter Kill. Living up to that name.
Yeah, we have to get on board with Liquid at the moment because they're making the advancement here. There's the cleanup crew inside the kill feed. Jempty hunkering down, waiting inside the graveyard, hoping that two players do decide to get a little bit overzealous.
Jempty, he can't peek it. He can't peek it. He cannot peek that.
Look at the range though. Liquid are getting hit in the backside from Incognito.
They're keeping him pinned, and now Shooter Killer joining in. They stole the kill on K-Mind. He was knocked. They were trying to get him back up here. This is so uncomfortable for Jempty. You need to leave that little area, and he knows it. He's going to try and find a way out, maybe put down a bit of a bait smoke. Cloud9 just on the other side. Profi moving up on a vehicle. Is he just trying to get out of there? I think he is. Samty wants this, so Samty has just heard this go off. Had to get out and find Profi. Oh no. Profi pulls up, looks to turn around. Samty feels the eyes on his back as well. 4AM have just gone down.
I'm surprised they survived for so long. STK find their North American friends. Unfortunately, Liquid it will be the hands of C9. Liquid have to do this, and again, this is because of basically, you can see the cliff face now. I mean, you can potentially, if you want to. Oh, so this now acts as basically a sandwich, Lauren. They're up against that. But there's 3 teams behind them. The Rangers and Envy are going to have to make the same move.
Yeah, the Rangers are about to find Envy, so that's going to be happening. You can see this one unfolding. Moody is on the run. He's already low. He's got potentially Cloud9 in front of him as well. This is horrible. Okay, Cloud9 are gone down. STK hold the line. They are in the circle. Liquid have just pulled up. They are safe now, but STK can get the higher ground. The Rangers trying to run the same line. ENF going on the eastern side. Incognito still safe as well. You have 1 remaining AG player. That's your 6 teams here. Shoot to kill can destroy Liquid if they're unaware. Alo is moving up. Ibby's on the other side. Jempty's there. This could be very, very close by fighting. Alo spots out one. Ibby, he's got the angle, and Ibby's going to have to fall away from this. His support system is not in place. Good play from Shoot to Kill. They're so paranoid about that top of the hill. They're going to nade that out.
It's okay talking about this fight, Lauren, but literally lingering in the distance behind them, the Rangers are slowly but surely making their way to this position. It was
are they on top or down below?
They're down below. They're on the cliff. ridge line just at the bottom. They may essentially get fed into STK here. You can see the slow walking is real. They're trying not to give away their position by making too much noise here, because Liquid could lowball the grenades and basically bottleneck them. Okay, this is going to be a mess. I mean, the better thing was Ibby's pause. He held for a second, didn't get no frag, that's fine. But he got the information and forced STK off their backside.
See, but Shoot to Kill don't necessarily know it's Liquid that have now gone further north. They might still think that potentially it's the Rangers until they get that first knock. On the eastern side, you have Incognito and Entus potentially about to fight.
Liquid looking down. Liquid might catch them. They have. There is a response here. They see them. Two of them side to side. Trades off. Jempty
it's
will
go time for Shoot to Kill. They've got to push this now, Rich. They have to get involved in the fight. They're doing just about that. Uncivil finds one of them. Barbo goes down. Where is the rest? Can they find any more? Ibby trying to fight on one side, but they're losing out on players. This is scrappy. This is perfection from Shoot to Kill. They're just twisting the screws to make it hurt here. Nade comes over. If that bounces down the right place. Oh my God! What a nade coming out from the Rangers as well. These guys are trading back into this too, but Shoot to Kill becoming the king of this hill.
STK is absolutely causing a massacre on this side of the map. They need to be very, very careful here. They're going to deal with that last player, Homboyer, up in the north. Once he's gone, that's theirs. It's free. It's clear. But they have to be careful. They don't get too overzealous. They've got some kills.
Do they know the Rangers are still there?
I mean, they've left one person back in the form of Uncivil, which is good.
But he's not looking. I don't know if they know the Rangers are in this position.
Maybe
they are now,
the Rangers have just given away their own position by throwing a grenade.
I don't think they realized initially. They got to pull back one of the players. Yeah, this is really dangerous for Uncivil. He's got to move forward and try and find a new spot. The Rangers could get the high ground. What a gift here. They just did not know this. Shoot to Kill are now split too thin. Putty Cuddy's on his own because they were looking towards that next circle. They were looking for that next fight, and now they've been reminded, wait, maybe we're not cleared just yet. But there's so many other threats still alive.
The smokes will be put up, which again gives STK the information that they need. The Rangers might actually be dealt with by Incognito here. Do STK a favour. Homboy is still lingering in the north. Entus have been rather quiet. They've been sat on the eastern bank for quite some time. Pretty much held at gunpoint by Ronan alone, because he's on the elevated building with the windows up top, so he can basically look through a post box and hold them back. This is the exact position I'm talking about. Thank you, observers. He's just been sat here just picking and poking and peeking and holding them back, but don't count out Entus just yet. They've not had many engagements, so their gear, their utility, their guns, it's going to be fantastic.
That nade was so close. Putty Cuddy just got the nade through and got the kill for himself. DG98 still stands barely as Entus consider, is it time to push up now for ourselves? Homboyer moving in as well. They have a lot of utility left, Rich.
They've not been in any fights at all or engagements. They can keep going here. STK is on 14 kills.
Yeah, but Shoot to Kill as well as safe from Incognito, so they can focus this path for now.
Good
and actually
Lord.
the kill's gone over to Incognito. Good play. Where's that next little flex come from? Look at the nade. Look at ENF's positioning. Ronan needs to be careful. It goes too deep. Now we see the final battles emerging. We have 4 players alive for 2 teams. That's actually pretty impressive. But they lost out on 1. Trade comes back in from Indigo. He doesn't want to let this one go just yet. For Entus, with 3 players standing, how do they break back into this new circle? Shoot to Kill. Oh, they've been caught out by Homboyer. He's been slowly working his way forward. That's 2 kills. Is it a third? Putty Cuddy goes down. 1 man alive for Shoot to Kill. Can he trade back in, or is this too little too late? Oh my God, he has just destroyed Shoot to Kill.
Everything that was going well for STK just fell at the hands of 1 player waiting in the distance, Yak. He's got a read on his position, trying to deal with him. This now alleviates all that pressure that Entus had on the opposing side. They've been allowed to get themselves back together here. They were taken down, I think, to 2 players at one point, and they're actually getting the res. Homboyer, you absolute clutch master. What a play!
I don't know what is on that AG team. We've seen 2 players now individually go big against this. Now Yak is looking for it. He knows what's up. Elo's still alive as well. Incognito have 3. This is scary territory. It looks like they want to sweep and clear this. ENF move forward. Indigo, Yak, all looking to try and find Homboyer, but this man is an animal. He's found so many before. Can he do it again? Surely not. 6 grenade. No way! Homboyer has just found Indigo, and the nade came out of his hands. This guy is about to go off. Surely not. He's found another kill. That's 5 for him alone. He's going back. Oh my God, this is insanity from Homboyer. He's going further. Surely this is where his road ends. It's done, but he was the 1-man army.
That man is on a mission. What a complete and utter unit to do so much damage as a one-man band. He puts points on the board and he gets them up into the top 5. Critical work here. And I said don't count out Entus just yet. They held for so long, incognito. All that was going on, they were allowed to get into the circle. They were held back by the edge. But Homboyer has just basically blown 2 teams completely apart single-handedly.
Yeah, this positioning from Entus actually isn't that bad. Ronon's being pinned in. He could be picked up any second now. If he's unaware that Xiangyang is down there.
He's not healing.
He has no idea. He has no idea. Into strike. That's now an even 2v2. Incognito trying to go for the flank, going northeast, trying to work around, trying to find that angle to isolate one player, but they've lost out on their linchpin, so this can be done to them now. Taking the low ground. 4 players stand in sight, leaning the angle.
And again, with the smoke up, that'll give them some kind of area to aim for.
Yeah, but if they just focus on that.
Split, that's the...
But look at the line of sight. Xiangyang can just hold the push. Oh, okay, we've got a Molotov. We've got some bit of an area denial here. Juxie's looking for one. The nade's going to clear this out as well. But they're burning the utility on this smoke. Xiangyang might just peek that ridgeline. If he does, Incognito are not in the best position. But that nade could be very nice here. Could do some damage, and it does.
There's a second one to follow up, and they need to be really careful here. They're committing to use all their utility, and fair play, you might as well, because they're the ones that have to make the move here, the big push. It's time to strike. Go, go, go.
They're going for it inside. Finds one, gets the tag, not the frag. The turn comes in. It's Entus so far with the upper hand. 2v1. Whereas Juxie here, he's going to try and go for the high ground. He's going on the long flank. There's the information. There's the trade, and now the 1v1 begins. Oh no, right, the timing! The panic switch on the nade! Juxie needs to run away. He knows that nade is coming down. Good play from him. Dodges it, jukes it. Where's the next threat? The blue is moving in. Damage is done towards the other player. He can't heal. He can't do it. He can't take the time. Juxie takes his time, peeking every angle he can. He's got the shot, but he doesn't get the kill. It's the Entus side to close down.
10-kill game. About 5 minutes ago, I said don't count out Entus. They held back for so long, just on the ridgeline, being poked at and prodded by Incognito. They got a good read on them. They had a lot of utility, they had a lot of gear. They bide their time, and Incognito goes to a final 1v1. The players in that final stance, we have had some absolutely monumental stances in that last game. STK putting up big frags on the board. But man of the hour, we have to talk about it. Homboyer.
What a play.
What in God's name did you eat this morning? Like, every single shot he made count. When you're a solo like that, if you're going to take a frag, you need to go for the confirmation, right? Because there's always going to be somebody behind you that you know you're going to be 2v1'd every single time. So you go for the knock and instantly for the flush. He didn't. He just moved on to teammates. I mean, that was STK's game essentially to win. They were feeling it. They were rocking and rolling.
Hot hands coming in.
They had the high ground as well compared to everyone else. And they had a full 4-man team. And he basically just broke everything that they built throughout that game into a billion pieces.
That was insane from him. I've got to say, so far, that's one of the best individual plays I've seen. Now, keep in mind, General in the game just prior, well, not just prior, but he's shown he can clutch as well. We have so many big individuals for AG here. I don't know what to make of that. I've got to say, for me, I thought that was Incognito's game. I thought that was theirs. I really did. I didn't think Entus could have played that out. That switch to the nade made my heart stop. Oh my word.
Well, you do it though, don't they? Sometimes there is a panic thing and then the aggression.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also surprised from the Incognito player, he didn't take advantage on that and actually push it. I know the grenade was come out, but rather than wait for him to... And again, he couldn't even get his health back because when you've got the blue moving, unless you're pre-stimmed going into that fight...
You can't take that second. No. You know someone's going to push you.
Same with the grenade, it's like switching out, going for the heals. For AG though, I know it's not the team that won, but just to kind of give some sort of bigger picture here. We're seeing these individual performances, but it's not really setting a story in the bigger picture because when you look at their placements they've had, 16, 15, 12, in the first few games of Erangel, there was nothing really from them, no signs of life. But then we're getting these individual fraggers that are making it later onto the game and picking up points as well. If that team manages to go away, shake off the rough starts and figure out, okay, where are we falling down on rotation paths, should we change things up?
They could be scary.
They could be a contender for that top spot.
My word. All right, I need a break. After seeing what Homeboy just did, I need some fresh air. I need to go outside and calm down for a bit. Guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back with the desk, the interviews, and everything else you love to see in just a moment's time.
What is up, everybody? I am down here with some of the boys from ENTS, and we're here to talk about the FACEIT platform and PUBG. So, guys, what do you enjoy so much about playing PUBG on the FACEIT platform?
It's really like competitive versus like PUBG like in normal PUBG. Like it's just totally like different like idea about the game because like more people like try hard and want to survive more. So it's actually like great individual practice and you can play with friends. So it's really good.
How often do you guys use FACEIT to play PUBG?
I mean, basically when we're home, basically daily, 5-6 times a week, pretty much.
So how do you think FACEIT has changed the competitive PUBG scene?
A lot, like because like when it started, like there wasn't that many players, but like I think it's growing like really rapidly, and now like there's so many like Finnish great players that have like recently found in like FACEIT, so it's really great.
What are the main differences between playing normal PUBG and then playing it on the FACEIT platform?
It's more competitive. I think that's the main thing why everyone is playing it, the higher level of a gameplay. I think that's it.
What is your favourite weapon to use on FACEIT?
My guns, Mini 14 and M4, definitely.
Mini 4 and M4, I would say, and then I don't know, whatever plays is good for the plane. Everything goes.
And if you want to be as good as the ENTS boys at PUBG, head over to fce.gg/PUBG to play with some of the best PUBG players around the world.
See you in FACEIT, boys and girls.
Easy for ENTS.
Hey James, have you seen my keyboard anywhere? I'm trying to log on to FACEIT so I can get my drops tomorrow, but it's missing. No? Well, I mean, all right, I'll check the desk.
Welcome back to the FACEIT Global Summit, where I am here with the winning side, OGN, Enters Force, and Kale. So, your first win of the day, Kale. How is the team feeling?
자, 오늘의 첫 1위를 기록했는데 어떤 기분이에요?
일단 1등을 해서 정말 기분이 좋고 이제 앞으로도 라운드가 많이 남았기 때문에 좀 더 열심히 해서 계속 이대로 잘하는 모습 유지하도록 하겠습니다.
I feel so great, but we'll still have many rounds left. So we're gonna do our best to get the best score as ever.
Well, very humble indeed. But I want to talk about one particular guy from Armory Gaming, Hon Boya. He caused you guys a little bit of trouble. How did you deal with him?
홍보야 선수가 팀을 굉장히 괴롭게 했는데 그 선수를 어떻게 상대했나요?
일단 홍보야 선수 쪽이 일단 적은 걸 알고 세 명이서 이제 푸시를 해가지고 잡으려고 가서 이제 둘이 죽긴 했지만 그래도 잡아서 그쪽을 쓸 수 있기에 괜찮았다. 그냥 세 명 가서 잡을 생각으로 대처를 했습니다.
So we knew that he's the only one in his team. So we put all our 3 players to push him. So finally we've got 2 down, but anyway we got him, so it didn't matter.
Well, you did, and you managed to take that chicken dinner. But before that, you had to face Joxy from Incognito, and it was a 1v1 in that situation. How did you close it out?
자, 마지막에 1대1 장면이 굉장히 멋있게 나왔는데 그때 어떻게 상대했고 어떤 기분이었나요?
일단 제가 수류탄을 들어서 이제 상대 선수가 저를 피를 깎아서 제가 뒤로 빠졌는데 상대가 이제 제 피가 적을 걸 알고 이제 나한테 오겠다 생각하고 가만히 사운드 들으면서 사운드 플레이 하면서 대기하고 있었습니다.
So my HP was so low, so I knew that he was gonna come for me, but he was not gonna come straight. So I was focusing on the sound. So he would, where he would come, so it would be left or right, not straight. So I was just focusing on the sound.
Well, fantastic stuff there. Certainly worked out for you guys. And I can't wait to see what the final match brings for us. But before we do that, let's head back to the boys at the desk.
That's right, we thought PKL was showing up in full force in the previous couple of games, but this time here with OGN Entus Force getting themselves that victory, it means that all 4 PKL teams have been able to take themselves a chicken dinner here on the first day of the Grand Finals. That's kind of unheard of here when you come to something like a global championship in this capacity.
I mean, Korea has long been dominating when it comes to esports. FPS, I think, has maybe been their shakiest genre, but apparently they are not anymore. So 4 wins in the finals. We haven't played that many games, James. That's absolutely bananas.
4 wins in 5 games.
Yes.
Like, unexpected. I never saw this coming. Maybe there was one team that was just going to ride momentum like straight off the top and just get a lot of wins like we saw OMG doing at PGI, but here 4 different Korean winners in 5 games. That's absolutely unheard of.
And the end of that match, OGN Entus Force, OGN Entus Force, OGN Entus Force. I can't say it enough. These guys came out huge because they stopped the Giant Slayer. Han Boya, the man of the match. We'll talk more about how he impacted this in ways like I've never seen before. Crushed it, but they were able to stop him, Incognito, and a juggernaut that was SDK. And I think we're going to start to see SDK pop up in this highlight reel here very soon because they had a massive game.
Yeah, actually, as you mentioned with Homeboy, actually game-changing moves came in from him. Avenger, though, what do you take away from all of this at the beginning? To begin
with, I really want to see Katsu here from Arrow. I want to say that was amazing from him playing. He took down 17 gaming ladders, just cutting knife in butter. That was just insane. A warm knife in butter. It was absolutely well played from him. But OGN Entus Force here with a great positioning from the start of the game and then kind of just sweeping around the edges. But you see here Cloud9, what a nice nade from Gemty as well.
Yeah, the nades have been on point today. Double nade tosses seem to really be the new staple. Now we'll jump over to Purdy Curdy and the boys as they started to sort their run towards the top of this hill, and from there it just became a big fight. You had the Rangers down below, Liquid up on top, this nade just low, but basically there it is. So what happened is the initial nade comes up and it forced some of the Liquid guys to consider moving. They exposed themselves to OP Rangers, and then from there it was just knocking them down.
Also, big shout out to Jokesy here, being able to get 960 damage in that game, only netting himself 3 kills, but he was extremely close of fragging out here against Gale.
And of course, all of these highlights here as Incognito went up against OGN Entus Ace. Force even brought to you by NVIDIA. I've got Korean teams on the brain, it seems, here for the FACEIT Global Summit. No surprise after they get themselves 4 wins out of the 5. Ace being OGN Entus Force's sister team over in the Korean region. Apparently I watch too much PKL, which is fine. I think it's an okay problem. But guys, I want to focus on one individual in particular who changed the face of that game. It was Homboya, a guy that we've known from PGI in 2018. Now he's here to shake things up at a global summit.
I mean, yes, and if my memory serves me correctly, it's not the first time we've seen this. Remember Homboya set the same trap for Tempo Storm a couple of days ago and wiped them out, but here they go, just dropping them down one after another, and then he turns, nades uphill. That was after an incredible headshot peek to open that fight, and everyone's going, who is this guy? Armory Gaming got 7 kills, 6 racked up by him individually from a downhill disadvantageous position.
I feel like there's that scene in Lord of the Rings, the final film, where Samwise is going up the tower and you see his shadow going, "Arr, arr," and all the orcs are like, whoa, what's going on? And then all of a sudden it's only just one little Homboya coming up the hill, and then they're like, wait a minute, it's one guy who's just wiped out everyone else? What's going on?
That was absolutely insane. And the 1 versus 3. It was a 1v1 3 times, but it was 1 versus 3 versus shoot to kill here. But it was headshot knocks on every single of these guys, and one of them was a double headshot as well. This guy is absolutely insane.
Yeah, what a really landscape changing there on Miramar. Let's take a look at how the circles, of course, did shift throughout Miramar in that game to see who it was advantageous to. And actually, from the beginning circle to the very end, we ended up in roughly a very central location.
And this is where also all the kills from shoot to kill guys come from. It's because they were not having to travel so far as they kind of used to have in their previous games, but here they managed to get in a northern position, trying to bit away from them, but they actually fought their way in and got so many kills on their way on the transition here as well. All the way, I want to say Envy, their transition from all the way up northeast and coming in on the southern side of the graveyard was absolutely amazing, and them surviving until the 19-0.
I think as the circle closes, we saw STK, and they had a good game. They move as a unit. So we talk about with the Iron Man, right? They're always together. Sometimes that backfires. When they pushed Hanboya, you see it right here. They aggressively moved 3-1 on top of each other because that's just the system of movement that they use. That's great if you're going up against a team and everyone sort of flows to flanks, but with one player who you don't expect to be there popping up and just opening a full spray down with 2 headshots, like that's the crazy part. Had it not been 2 headshots, potentially he doesn't get any flush. They finish Hanboya, they get the reses, but the fact that he went for the headshots because he knew he needed them and executed is what will make that play legendary in my opinion.
Yeah, very, very good stuff. And again, to do it on one of the biggest stages in PUBG really is testament to how impactful he can be, and almost even a star player for Armory Gaming as things continue on. They've still got a lot of room to try and make up, of course, in the points here, but let's take a look at the X factor of the match here, brought to you by HyperX. It might end up being that, or production might troll me and we might get something else. Let's see what it's going to be. Oh yeah, of course, it's a grenade. We get a lot of grenade X factors, I think.
It's about the elimination, right? It was the fact that it cleared off a very good control point. And honestly, had Hanboya not been there, STK probably would have had an 18-plus kill game and a first-place finish because they play Miramar well. They had a great spot, and Liquid was the only issue for them in terms of positioning. That's why the nade was great, and I think we called that one in before Hanboya went absolutely bananas. So, what can you do?
It's fine. If Shoot to Kill didn't win the last game, I was going to feel bad for them being wiped by one guy here. But they got to win the last game. They got a lot of points so far. In with the start of Mirror, they had 1 point. Now they have a lot more.
I said that they would do well on Miramar. I think maybe I underestimated. It's crazy how good. Like, I did not expect this, right? I can't wait to see the overall leaderboard because I think the change that we're going to see from the coming out of Erangel to here is going to be absolutely crazy. It wouldn't surprise me to see him on the left side of the board, if not higher.
Well, gentlemen, so for now we are done. Let's head over to the fantastic Frankie and see who she has.
Thank you, guys. Yes, from the SEA, it's Thailand's Armory Gaming, and there really couldn't be anyone else I could talk to after that game, but of course, Hanboya. And first of all, talk me through that battle against Aerowolf, because you did take a bit of damage, so how did that change the game?
ตอนที่ต่อสู้กับ Aerowolf นะครับผมได้รับความเสียหายและส่วนหนึ่งตอนนั้นมันทำให้เกมเปลี่ยนไปยังไง
ก็คงทำให้รูปเกมเปลี่ยนไปเยอะครับเพราะว่าการเล่นที่มีสมาชิกทีมครบ4คนก็ยังไงก็มันก็ต้องดีกว่า3คนอยู่แล้วแล้วก็ถ้าเรามี4คนแล้วก็มีโอกาสที่จะได้แชมป์ด้วยในเกมนั้น
Yes, it caused a lot of problem for them because that 4-man is better than 3-man anyway, and 4-man is give them more opportunity to win the games.
And yeah, actually, I have to highlight Duckmans as well in this moment because we've seen Duckmans who's just down there. He's also been fragging out on his own. You guys seem very confident playing on your own. Is that true?
ก็คือตามที่ดักแมนเนี่ยครับมักจะแยกไปเล่นอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแต่ละคนเนี่ยก็เลยจะมีโลของตัวเองอยู่แล้วใช่ไหมครับผม
ก็ใช่ครับก็คือมีหน้าที่ของตัวเองในแต่ละตำแหน่งก็อย่างดักแมนก็หาที่เล่นแล้วก็เก็บคิวอะไรไปเรื่อยแต่ว่าอย่างพวกผม3คนก็คงจะอยู่เฉย
ๆ Okay, Duckman is they have the different role for this. Duckman is for to fight position and get a kill if they can, but for all 3 of them, they just stay still.
We have seen some solo duck play. It's been fantastic. It's been quackers. Forgive me, please don't translate that, Don. Now, moving on to that fight against STK on the hill. They were coming for you, and you really spoiled their day. How did you do it?
ตอนที่ STK ข้ามเนินมาหาครับผมตอนคอนนี่ฆ่าแต่ว่าทำให้วันของเขาเนี่ยเปลี่ยนไปเลยทำยังไงครับ
อ๋อตอนนั้นก็คงไม่ได้คิดอะไรคิดแค่ว่า คิดไว้อยู่แล้วว่าเขาต้องเดินมาฆ่าแล้วผมก็คิดแค่ว่าผมต้องยิงเขาให้ตาย
He just think that he didn't think anything. He just thought that they will come to kill him. So instead, he have to kill them.
And then OGN enters force. Did you know they were also round the hill?
แล้วรู้ไหมครับว่ามี OGN อยู่อีกฝั่งนึงด้วย
รู้ครับแล้วก็รู้ด้วยว่าเขากำลังจะมาฆ่าก็เลยลุกไปฆ่าเขาก่อน
Yes, he know it, and he thought that they were going to kill him as well. So he go to kill them instead.
And you were pretty successful actually in that endeavour. You nearly knocked them out too and denied them that chicken dinner, Homboya. The thing that surprised me when I was finding out more about Armory Gaming is you actually play for another team. You're officially part of Beyond Esports, and you stood in with the team a couple of times. Why is this not official?
ทำไมถึงแบบว่าทั้งที่สังกัดตัวเองอยู่ที่ Beyond Esports นะทำไมถึงได้แบบว่าไม่ได้มาสังกัดกับ Armory Gaming อย่างเป็นทางการ
ก็ส่วนใหญ่ที่มาเล่นให้ Armory Gaming คือ Armory Gaming จะมีสมาชิกทีมครบอยู่แล้วแต่ว่าที่ผมมาเล่นให้เพราะว่าสมาชิกทีมขาดครับแล้วก็ทีมนี้ก็เป็นทีมเพื่อนอยู่แล้วด้วยมันเล่นกันง่าย
Because the Armory Gaming is missing one person and since they are all friends so it's easier to get teamwork done
Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Homboy. I can't wait to see you guys in the final round of the day. But before then, we need to take a short break, so don't go anywhere.